Everyone, and welcome to day 28. Wow, we only have 2 more days after this. This is kind of our final wrap up couple days, just to practice our flow and practice our all the kind of postures and poses that we have found ourselves in, and almost celebrate the end of our recovery journey. So feel free to kind of, again, take all the variations that you would like, based on where you're at in your recovery journey. But today we're going to be introducing Vrksasana, or tree pose. So it's a balancing pose. So this might be more difficult or less difficult depending on what you're recovering from and where you're at on that journey. This is an amazing posture, though, for all of us, because it is so helpful to kind of help gently rebuild the core. And there's multiple variations that you can step into that may fit better where you're at on your recovery journey. And so we'll talk about all of those. So come on down to the ground. Let's get started. We'll take maybe 3 conscious Ujjayi breaths here. Awesome work. All right. You know where to go. We'll come into our cat cows. We're going to do about 5 of those or so, but try to move as slowly and as mindfully as you can. So big inhale, open through the chest. And then exhale, round through the spine, curl the chin in. Inhale. Exhale. Really press away from the earth in each part of this pose and see how different that feels. See what sensations that brings to your body. Awesome work. All right, we're going to come into that flat back position. And then on your next inhale, we'll raise the right foot up high. Exhale, round through the spine, planting that front foot in between the front hands. And then inhale, really focus on this low lunge. I'm drawing that energy into the center line. So much of balance, which will come with our tree pose, comes from our connection with our center or our core. So really focus on that energy drawing into the center. So inhale, sweep the arms up and over, draw that energy into the center line. Soften through the jaw and the face. Awesome work. We're going to exhale, plant the palms. We're going to go into extended side angle. So again, focus on kind of that connection to your center line, or maybe it's easier to think of your belly button. So just imagine that belly button kind of coming to meet the back body when you open up to the side. Extended side angle. Breathing deep here. Awesome. Exhale, release. We'll step it back to all fours, and then we'll go chest, chin, pressing up to baby cobra. Exhale, all the way back down to the ground as we inhale, coming back up to our all fours. Awesome work. All right. Inhale, we'll lift the left leg up high. Exhale, round through, stepping that front foot up. And again, imagine drawing that energy into the center line. into the kind of middle of this mat. So as we sweep the arms up and overhead, we come into that connection with our core. Exhale, come down to the ground, plant the right hand. We'll open up, drawing our belly button back into the back body as we open up to the side, extended side angle. One more breath here. Awesome work. We'll release, plant both palms, step the knees back or step back to plank pose if that is where you're at in your recovery journey. And then knees, chest, chin, pressing up. Maybe you go all the way up, cobra, or stay down at baby cobra. Awesome work. And we will come to curl the toes under and then come into downward facing dog. Awesome work. All right. You're going to slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands. And we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So once your feet come up to meet your hands, walk them out to a little bit wider than hip width apart. We'll come into that wide-legged forward fold. So gentle or generous bend in the knees, elbows and hands maybe come to hold each other as we sway side to side, releasing in the neck. Maybe your palms come to the earth. You want a little bit more of a stretch in the back of the legs, you can walk your palms back towards the back edge of your mat for a little bit more of a challenge. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Awesome work. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to slowly rise up to a wide-legged mountain pose. Rolling those shoulder blades down the back body, palms facing forward. All right, we're going to go into willow tree pose, kind of loosening the leaves and connecting with that center line before we come into stillness with that center line with a tree pose. So bring your arms to kind of sway on each side of you, moving slowly, almost imagining there's a gentle breeze outside and you're the willow tree just moving with the wind. Maybe your heels come up. I remember when I first got introduced to this pose, I was like, this is so silly. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is embarrassing. I feel like a 3-year-old. But I have so much come to love this pose. Just the freeness and kind of the looseness that comes with letting your arms just dangle and move with gravity and momentum. Maybe you still feel silly. That's okay too. All right, we'll come slowly to stillness. And then I invite you to kind of soften your gaze or close your eyes if you're not already. Bring your palms to heart center. And then heel toe, maybe even without looking, your feet together. Stand up as tall as you can, crown of the head reaching forward. And then on your next inhale, we're going to shift our weight to the left foot. Maybe our right foot, our right leg comes to bend in the right knee. And then trust yourself. The next exhale, bring the bottom part of your right foot to come to the inside of the left ankle, like so. If this feels good, maybe you lift and bring your right foot to the inside of your left calf, opening through that hip. And if this feels good, maybe you, with some help of your hand, bring your right foot to rest on the inside of your left thigh. And then I invite you to stop wherever kind of feels the best for you. So this kind of all the way up to the thigh feels great, stop there. If on the calf feels great, that's awesome. If on the ankle feels great, that's great too. And then on your next inhale, we'll bring the arms up and overhead like you're a V for victory. And you did it, tree pose. If you find yourself kind of swaying with the wind in this tree pose, it can be helpful to find a focal point, or in yoga, we call it a drishti, somewhere that's in front of you that isn't moving to kind of focus your eyes on. That can kind of help you bring that energy up to the core and find that stillness and stability. Breathe here. Oh, it feels so good. This is so exciting for me. I feel like a couple months or a couple weeks postpartum, I could like barely walk up the stairs. And now being able to balance my hands over my head is just such an achievement. It feels so freeing. So awesome. So amazing what our bodies can do. All right, enough. We'll bring our hands back down to our heart center, and then wherever your foot is, we'll release, bringing that back to meet the other foot. Maybe take a moment to kind of shake out that standing leg. And then we'll bring it back together, and we'll take it to the other side. So shift your weight to the right foot. Maybe the left knee kind of bends before we inhale. Rotating that left hip out. Left foot comes to the inside of the right ankle, or maybe right calf, or maybe all the way up to that right thigh. It can be helpful in the standing leg to have just a slight bend. That can help kind of draw energy up into your center line. And then exhale, arms up to the sky, tree pose. This is an awesome pose also to practice grace with yourself. I very much am a culprit of, oh, I wish I was there, or I can't believe my body's not doing this, especially with the activities that I did pre-birth or pre-pregnancy. But this is such an awesome pose to just take the variation that feels good, take the variation that you can do, and remind yourself you can do it. And if your goal is to go from ankle to calf or calf to thigh in tree pose, you have somewhere to go, but you can already do the pose. And that is always a helpful reminder to like honor where you're at, but be excited about where you're going. One more breath here. And then exhale, we'll bring the palms back together to heart center. Slowly release that foot back down to the other foot. Maybe take a moment to shake out that standing leg. And then we're going to take a flow here. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Forward fold, Uttanasana. And then we'll inhale, halfway lift. Remember that kind of flat back, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, bow again for forward fold. Step it back to plank or all fours, and then we'll go knees, chest, chin. Pressing up to baby cobra or cobra. Awesome. All right. Toes come to touch, knees as wide as the yoga mat. And then we are going to sink into our child's pose. Oh, that just feels so good to kind of surrender to the earth after connecting with our core. One more deep breath here before we close out this practice. Awesome work. All right. Press up to all fours. Swing the knees to one side. Come back into that comfortable seat that we started in. Awesome work. You guys did so great. You're in the flow. You're doing the yoga thing. You're doing great. I will see you tomorrow for our last 2 days. The last 2 days, we're going to introduce Warrior 1 and Warrior 2, because at the end of the day, when you're in a recovery journey, you are a warrior because you show up every day for healing and hoping for just slight improvement each day. And that is what a warrior does. So we're going to do those, and then our journey together will be complete. Namaste.